Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Welcome to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and I am here doing a tarot energy reading on the economy. Is what I'm doing. It's a new reading on the economy. I did a reading on the economy before. For that reading, I did not literally do the cards right then and there, but I sort of just gave the information of the cards that came out when I did the reading. This one, I'm actually pulling out the cards, and I'm doing it for a few reasons. One of the reasons is because I've had this feeling that there's more than likely about to be a crash in the economy, more than likely world economy versus just the U.S. economy. And a funny thing happened over Christmas where I was having a conversation with my brother. And for those who don't know, my brother deals in finance. Like, he's done international business, all this other stuff. And he's been a chief economist for a very well-known company. He's CEO for a division of a very well-known company. And he knows finance. That is his thing. And we were talking about the economy, and I said to him, well, I believe there will more than likely be a crash, because at first I didn't know. I wasn't picking up a time frame. But I said to him, there will more than likely be a crash spring or summer of 2022. I kid you not. A few weeks later, someone had asked Elon Musk, does he believe the economy is going to crash? And Elon Musk pretty much said the same thing. He was like, yeah, he's like, my gut is telling me spring, or he was like either spring or summer of 2022, but no later than 2023 is what he said. But he was saying his gut was telling him the spring. And I was like, yeah, that's the energy I'm sort of picking up. Now, there's a lot of stuff to go into. I may talk really fast because I don't want this to be super duper long. But also, another thing that's on the horizon is war as well, and I'm going to discuss that too. However, before I go any further, kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Back to this. Now, I have my chicken scratch here. Because usually when I do, for those who are watching the video, for those who are listening to the podcast, you can't see it. But on this notebook, when I do pre-shuffle stuff, I usually, if I know it's going to be a lot of stuff, I'll start writing everything down during the pre-shuffle of what I'm picking up. When I was preparing to do the pre-shuffle, I was about to write economy reading on the side, like you see here on the side. Hold on. There it says economy. I know it's backwards on here, but you know what I'm talking about. Economy reading. When I was about to write that, I was preparing to write war by accident. And I'm like, why am I writing about war? And for those of you who are thinking the whole Russia, Ukraine, US situation, I'm not picking anything up on that. I'm not seeing it. Yeah. But during the pre-shuffle, one of the cards that came out confirmed the thoughts of war. is what happened. And for those, I plan on doing the Infinity Cross is what I want to do. Usually I do 2 Oracle decks, 2 Tarot decks. Well, the Tarot deck that I'm doing is the Tarot Illuminati, and then I'm doing the Tarot Insight deck. The Oracle deck that I'm doing is the Angels of Atlantis deck. But this particular deck, the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus, I don't really consider this a tarot deck. It's sort of like an oracle deck. It's sort of like a hybrid. It has certain similarities to a tarot deck, but it's not an official like tarot deck. This is different. You can't take your tarot card reading skills and apply it to this deck. You just can't. And that's why I have the book right here too, because certain cards, you think they mean one thing, and then you go to the book and it's like, well, no, it can mean this. Well, going back to the war thing, one of the cards that came out for the pre-shuffle was saying that an authority figure, a person in power who is very confrontational and has and is impulsive. Like they're looking for a fight is what they're doing. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty much confirming the war energy. But the other crazy thing is, I feel like if there is a war with countries, I feel like it's going to come out of left field. I honestly do. I feel like when people hear it, they're going to be like, what? It's going to be one of those situations. I don't think it will be as obvious as the United States, Russia, Ukraine situation. Not saying that something won't happen with that. I'm just saying that's not on my radar. I feel like it's something else. And as I say with all readings, whether it's for the collective, which this reading is for the collective, whether it's for a sign or whether it's for individual. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards and the oracle cards. That's all I'm doing. All right, okay. Now, back to the pre-shuffle energy. Some people will feel left out in the cold. There will be some lack. Also, there will be some counting of pennies, too. Also, charities will be very, very vital during the economy. Like charities will be like with this whole economy thing, because again, I feel like there will be a crash. Charities will play a very vital role in this. Also, now, and this isn't all doom and gloom, because I picked up a lot of good things too. There's going to be the potential for abundance as well. And I mentioned this before during my previous tarot reading on the economy. You can go, you have to scroll back like maybe a few months and find the episode in there. But when I spoke with Corby, one of the people I interviewed, she was saying that it could be like, I think 1920s, really, really bad, that bad, like worse than the 2008 and stuff. And I feel, you know how when a car is driving fast and then somebody slams on the brakes and then you're like that? I honestly feel that would be it. I don't feel it's going to be a thing of, well, the economy just stays, in this misery or whatever. I feel like there will be something that helps bring it out. I don't know what that something is. Maybe I'll find out during this reading. But I just feel that it's going to be a hard hit. Like it's one of those things, not going to be little hits. It's just going to be one big hit that's just going to knock people for a loop, and they're going to be like, wow. But I don't see it being long term. And again, there's the potential for abundance. Also, another thing that I picked up is baby boom as well. You remember how during World War II, because that's how the whole baby boom thing happened, the baby boomers, where the soldiers were gone, and obviously from their significant others. And then after the war was over with, when all the soldiers and stuff came back home, there was this huge baby boom. Like all these pregnancies for obvious reasons. And I'm picking up baby boom energy where something related to this economic crash is going to cause a bunch of procreation. Go figure. So yeah. Another thing, I mentioned this before during my 2022 reading for the collective. You can check that out too. Getting closer to the divine, more people going to church, becoming more spiritual. Also focusing on what is really important, family. Also leaning on one another. The song, if you haven't heard the song Lean On Me or whatever, listen to that song because the lyrics were going through my head. I have something in my left eye too. I keep on thinking, something just said to me again, coming out of left field. I honestly feel like something's going to come out of left field and people are going to be like, what the, whatever. But something's in my left eye. So for those watching, wondering like, why is he messing with his eye? But back to this, with the Lean On Me thing. If you haven't heard that song, listen to that song. It's Lean On Me When You're Not Strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Though it won't be long until I'm going to need somebody to lean on. So yeah, that particular song, that will be a huge energy. That energy from that song, that will be a huge energy during the whole economic situation. So there will also be inspiration and compassion. People will be inspired to help, and people will also be more compassionate as well. It's going to bring out inspiration and compassion to people. Also, other people will evolve too. And there will be partnerships that are formed because of Stronger Together, which is what I'm titling this reading, because I feel like that's going to be the thing that will get everyone through what happens when it happens. Is everyone's banding together, everyone's leaning on each other in doing that. There will be relocating. I honestly feel like there's going to be some migrating as well, like between states and maybe even between countries. But if you're in the United States, and I'm mostly speaking about the United States economy when I talk about this, I know some things about a few of the other economies in the world, but obviously I live in the United States, in Texas, so I know a little bit more about the United States economy versus other economies throughout the world. However, just a side note, there's this real estate company in China, Evergrande, I believe their name is, where they had missed their payment. And now there's some other stuff going on too. And that's the other thing. The media doesn't cover all of this stuff because just like the BBC, they're talking about, oh, well, the United States economy is growing faster than ever. I'm like, whose United States economy? United States of what? But yeah, do your research. That's what I can tell you. I'm not a financial analyst. I'm not giving you financial advice. Again, I'm just the person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. That's all I'm doing. Also, there will be marriage happening. Marriage came out twice during the pre-shuffle. So some people will be getting married as well. I heard some people will be getting divorced too, but I feel that the marriage will outweigh the divorce. Also, there will be a focus on health too. Going back to the war thing, because see, I have it written down here. Hot-tempered, I know I have chicken scratch. Hot-tempered, authority figure, war. So, and that was based off of the pre-shuffle energy, and that came out of one of the cards I pulled from the Nostradamus tarot deck. So, Somebody, I feel, is going to set something off where they're like really hot tempered. And no, I don't believe it's going to be Joe Biden. I honestly don't. Even though I don't care for that whole regime, I don't believe it's going to be him. I honestly believe it's going to be somebody else. And everybody's going to be like, where did this come from? So just, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I don't believe it's going to be Putin either. I don't. I really, really don't. So, yeah. Also, there will be enlightenment too during this whole economy situation. And then there will be a focus on educating the youth too. There will be a focus on educating the youth and also reflection. And then there will be balance, calmness, and then there will be purification. Purification came out strong. And I feel like there's something, because let's talk economics for a second. United States economics. The United States is broke. Let's just call a spade a spade. The United States is broke. The United States prints money. For those who are not familiar with how currency works, the United States is the reserve currency of the world, meaning everything has to be converted into dollars because they're the go-to currency. Or should I say the United States is, because I'm saying they're like I'm not part of it. The United States is the go-to currency because that's where the faith and credit is in the American dollar. Where it's like, okay, the reserve currency of the world is the US dollar. That's the currency that everyone has faith in. The United States has not always been the reserve currency. Britain was the reserve currency before, but then they stopped being the reserve currency, and so on and so forth. There's been other countries where their currency has been the reserve currency. Usually a country is the reserve currency for about 50 years, give or take. The United States is about at 53, I think. You can look the stuff up. Obviously, you have access to the internet if you're listening to me. So when there isn't faith in the currency anymore, stuff happens. Now, when you are the reserve currency, you can do razzle-dazzle type stuff like print money, which is what our Federal Reserve has been doing. They've been printing money. It isn't a thing of, oh, we have the money. It's like, oh, well, we don't have it, so we can't raise taxes on people because that will cause a revolt. We've sold as many bonds as we possibly can because China buys United States bonds, Japan buys bonds, and so on and so forth. Which, that's another story for another day. So pretty much the only option is, okay, well, we don't have $1 trillion, so we'll just print $1 trillion out of thin air and do that. And I know some people are like, countries can do that. Well, the United States can do that because we're the reserve currency. But I digress. When you do stuff like that, inflation and all these other little shenanigans start happening. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. When I talk about purification, I honestly feel that when this crash happens, because I honestly believe there's going to be a crash. If I would be shocked if there's not a crash this year. Just like Elon Musk said, if it doesn't happen this year, definitely 2023. Because they're doing stuff to prop up the economy right now. And there's only but so much you can do to keep it going. Because as the old saying goes, you can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all people all of the time. But when this particular crash happens, it will purify all of this stuff. It will hurt. There will be a lot of pain, but it will purify all of this stuff. in a good way. And again, going back to what I said during my first tarot reading on the economy, something kept saying to me during that reading, the last shall be first. And more than likely, it will be because of the purification. Also, the original name that I planned on calling this tarot reading was Grace. What was it? An option for grace during judgment. Because there is going to be judgment during this whole situation. A second chance will be offered. So an option for grace is there. But in order to do that, you have to be purified. Some might say baptized in the fire. So, yeah, fire baptized. Which is when you put something through the fire, you're purifying it. So that's what I feel this will be. I feel like it will hurt, it will burn, but I don't feel like it will be long term. I really, really don't. Other people are predicting it will be long term. Even some people who have, who are, intuitives like me, where they're like, no, it's gonna drag out. But I'm not picking up that energy. I feel it's gonna hurt like hell when we get hit with it, but then there's gonna be a bounce back. I don't see it dragging out. Something just said 1.5 years. That was random. Okay, we'll take it. So I guess I don't see it dragging out for no longer than 1.5 years. So we'll see. All right, now that I've given you the pre-shuffle energy, I know some people are like, well, hell, KC, what's the point of doing the tarot card reading? But yeah, okay. Now that I've done the pre-shuffle energy, let's go ahead and get to the reading itself and do that. So I will start with the oracle cards and I will cross everything, and then I'm going to put all the cards out and then read the energy. And for those who are not familiar with the infinity cross, is what happens is the end result is there will be 4 cards in the middle and 1 card on surrounding all of the 4 cards in the middle is what will happen. So yeah, may I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Enchantment when I split the deck. Interesting. What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it? Hold on. Wait a second. I'm trying to get this message right. Because I just don't. Okay, I just heard don't believe the hype. But there was something else. What was it? Don't. What was it? And my stomach's growling too. Don't. Okay. Don't take anyone's word for what it is as related to your finances. If you have any type of financial, I don't want to say obligations. Let me rephrase that. Any type of financial relationships. Thank you. Any type of financial relationships that you have. If you're any banks that you're dealing with, any financial advisors that you're dealing with, anything concerning finances, double check. Like, okay, let me give you an example. Let's say that you decide to call up your bank and you're like, hey, I want to make sure everything's good, da, 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 da. And the bank's like, yeah. Just like they have this bank bail-in language that has just been updated. For those of you who are not familiar with bank bail-ins, long story short, when the 2008 crash happened and then the whole bailout thing had to happen, they were like, we're not doing this anymore. So then there was some language created where banks could do bail-ins instead of bail-outs, where banks, what they will do is they will take some of the money from someone's account and then exchange it out for a share of the bank, like stock within the bank, where you would be a shareholder in the bank. So that way they won't have to go to the government and say, hey, we need for you to bail us out. And the government will have to obviously do this, do that. That won't happen. Frog in my throat. Excuse me. Now, with the bank bail-in, usually it's anyone who has an account of $100,000 or more. The bank can go in and take money, a certain amount of money, and say, hey, we're taking this money, and in exchange, we're giving you a piece of the bank. You know, ownership, a part of the ownership of the bank. That is what a bank bail-in is. So, you may want to check the language of things like that and see where your bank is at. Something told me to tell you, check your bank stress test. There are stress tests to see where banks are at to do that. With your financial advisors, if they're the ones investing your money, check to see what they've invested in. Don't just go with, oh, well, they said, you know, they invested in a few green stocks and they invested in a few tech stocks and they invested in this. No, as in how many shares are in this, how much money is in that. I want to know where everything is at. Something is saying a fine-tooth comb. Go through anybody that you have a financial relationship with. Go through your finances with the fine-tooth comb is what I'm picking up. I'm not saying they're being dishonest with you, because for some of them, they may not even know. They may be giving you information that they're given, and they're receiving incorrect information. So any financial relationships that you have, go through those with the fine. Okay, I'm taking this one because it's coming out. Go through it with the fine-tooth comb. Thank you. May I have 2 more cards, please? Wow. Thank you. Did not, and Metatron came out. Archangel Metatron. Okay. May I have 1 more card, please? I had a feeling Metatron was going to show up. Metatron always shows up. Okay, may I have another card, please? For the okay, I can't take all these, but these are cute. I see abundance. All of these that came out were abundance, liberation, and romance, which kind of talk about some of the things I was talking about in the pre-shuffle energy, but I'm not taking all these. May I have 1 card, please? May I have 1 card, please? Something that the collective needs to hear on the economy. Something the collective needs to hear as related to the economy. May I have 1 card, please? Wow, it keeps on. May I have 1 card, please? Thank you. Sweet. Metatron, something, you know what? Something told me Metatron was going to come out again. I had seen Metatron's name on the other one. Okay, so Archangel Metatron came out in 2 of the 3 Oracle cards. And we're going to go over all of this in a minute. For a second, which I'll tell you very quickly. Gratitude, mercy, wisdom. were the cards that came out. But we'll go into the details in a minute. All right, now I need to pull the Nostradamus deck. May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Ten of Sons. That's good energy. Interesting. Yeah, which is similar to the Ten of Pentacles as well. Pretty sure. Let me double check that. I'm almost sure the Ten of Sons is similar to the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Nine of Sons, Ten of Sons. Scrap, yeah, great reward, harvest, but also it can be treachery, forgery, false witness as well, and cruelty. So it can be either or. That's what I'm talking about with these Nostradamus cards. So if you see here, I'm going to try and hold this up for those watching. With visions, it says upright. Do you see that? I'm trying to get it clear. So it says burdens, treachery, forgery, false witness, injustice, cruelty, travel, harvest, great reward. So it can go either way. And that's in the upright. But Ten of Pentacles energy is kind of the thing. Let me go ahead and get these going. All right. I need 3 cards for the collective. May I have 3 cards for the collective? Balance. I see scales. The reason I say that, scales. Balance. This is the 2 of stars. But yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. So we have the 11 of Spears, the 8 of Stars, and the 10 of Spears. Interesting. Also, I need to turn these up to at the bottom of the deck. All right, now tarot deck. May I have the energy for the collective, for the economy, the energy for the collective, for the economy, the energy for the collective, for the economy. What is it that the collective needs to know? What is it that the collective needs to know about the economy? The Magician, the Alchemist, when I split the deck. Okay, I had to get the message clear. You're the master of your own fate. Something just said that. You're the master of your own fate. So, something is saying to me, you may see, because right now, you're not, okay, there's like so much information and I'm trying to get this out correctly. Right now, you're not seeing what is there. There's a lot of illusions going on, which also that can go with the Magician too. There's illusions too. But the message that I'm delivering is different from that. Where, due to the illusions going on, when the truth finally starts to come out, then they're going to be when I say they, I'm talking about the media. Then they're going to be on this bandwagon of, oh, the economy's so horrible. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. I'm going back to telling you, you're the master of your own fate, is what you are. And what I mean by that is that you have to have faith and believe and find happiness where you can. Hangman energy at the bottom of the deck. May I have 3 cards, please? Also, something just told me if somebody's thinking about investing in the stock market, wait and see. May I have 2 more cards, please? Thank you. Yep, this pretty much confirms it. Okay, may I have 1 more card, please? This is confirming some energy that I picked up. May I have 1 more card, please? Thank you. These are 2 cards. Okay, I'll take them together. Wow. I told people judgment. Didn't I tell you judgment? Didn't I mention that at the beginning? Judgment is happening on people's practices and actions. What's at the bottom of the deck? 7 of Wands. That's a good sign. The high ground, though. Something just said the righteous will prevail. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The righteous will prevail. May I have, and now I'm doing the final deck. May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? May I have the energy for the collective on the economy? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? 9 of Wands, wounded warrior energy is what that is. Something just said some of you will have to fight to maintain what you have. You have to be willing to put in the work, is what I'm hearing. You have to be willing to put in the work. Something, okay, more messages coming. And I know people are like, wow, Casey, you're getting hit and you're stopped, because the stuff keeps coming to me. So it is what it is. And trust me, I get frustrated sometimes too, even though I'm thankful. But that I'm able to get these messages and discern and all that stuff. But yeah, something's saying to me, because some people, they have this mentality that they don't want to work for certain things, like certain things should be given to them. And with this particular economy, when it does what it does, it will force people to where they didn't put in the work before. They're not going to have any choice but to put in the work. That's the message that I'm receiving. That is the message I'm receiving. And again, 2 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This was the one that gave me lean on me vibes, because that looks like a crutch. This came up during the pre-shuffle. That's crazy. So, yeah. Let me split this. And then I split it 3 times at the bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. Again, I feel like there will be an opportunity for a lot of people, and also the Wheel of Fortune, which also I call the Will of the Divine, or the Will of God, where the will turn in everyone's favor. But something just said you have to put in the work. This isn't something where you can sit by and wait for someone to save you, even though charities will play a huge role. But the purification has to take place. May I have 3 cards, please? Message for the economy, for the collective. Thank you. You cannot. Okay, this. This card, 5 of Pentacles, came out during the pre-shuffle. You can't make it up. I'm just like, The energy is the energy. The cards are the cards, man. May I have 2 more cards, please? May I have 2 more cards? Thank you. The Emperor. Huh. And the Chariot. Okay. What's at the bottom of the deck? The Hermit. At the bottom of the deck. All right. Let's get straight to it. We're going to go to the heart of the matter. I can tell you right now, and this is what's crazy. During my first tarot reading, guess who came out? There is some type of authority figure. Someone is going to cause this. I mean, other stuff were already in play. Other things were already in play before this happened. And I don't want to put it all on one person, but there's going to be one individual that will be the trigger for all of this. And I don't know why, but why does this look like Chairman Xi of China? Just a little bit. Let me bring this closer. Am I the only one who sees that? Is it just me? Leave a message in the comments. Leave a message. If you're listening to this on my podcast, go to my YouTube channel and leave a message in the comments and tell me. We're at 41 minutes. You can just skip through the first part and then go to the 41 minutes of me holding up this thing. What? There is going to be an individual, and I talked about this in my first tarot reading on the economy with the Emperor and someone manipulating people or attempting to manipulate people behind the scenes. And I said the last shall be first, is what I said during that reading. But whatever is going on with this Emperor, and remember, during the pre-shuffle energy, I talked about an authority figure. That came out of the Nostradamus deck. So there's something is consistent here. There's something that an individual is going to do to set this all off. Like, the fire has already kind of started due to the actions of the people of the world. And by people of the world, I mean in governments, the governments of the world. But there's one specific individual that is going to take a match and just throw it on there with some more gasoline or whatever. Or it's like the gasoline is on it and this person is going to take the match and throw it on there. And then it's just going to set everything ablaze, is what I'm getting. And that's where the purification is coming from. That's weird. But this Emperor, this authority figure, is at the heart of the matter. This is why the crash is going to happen. It's due to happen due to the actions of other governments, and this government, the United States government, and their what's the word I'm looking for? I'll say amateurish, because they've been acting like amateurs. Their amateurish way with managing the finances of the government, of the economy, of handling the economy. But there is an individual somewhere in authority that they're going to do something, and their action or actions is going to set this thing off. Their actions is going to set it off. Now, you have 5 of Cups energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is sorrow. You have Archangel Metatron, mercy as well. Now, this, with the 5 of Cups energy, with sorrow and despair, one thing about 5 of Cups is, you see how they're focusing on the 3 cups. 3 cups right there that are spilled over. but they have two cups behind them that they don't see. This is where gratitude is going to come in for the two cups during this whole economic situation. This is where gratitude is going to come in. Some people may be focused on what they don't have, Five of Pentacles. Other peoples are going to cut their losses, the Death card, which is surrounding all of this, which again is purification. There will be judgment. And also when you think of the Two of Wands card, usually they have the world in their hand in a lot of tarot decks. This is going to be a judgment on the world economy is what this will be. That's why they came out together. This is going to be a judgment on the world economy. Whoever this emperor, because this emperor is at the heart of the matter. This authority figure right here with the four cards that came out at the heart of the matter, this individual is going to be at the center of it. This person is going to cause sorrow and despair. Now, Eight of Stars. Let me see what this, because the Eight of Stars is at the heart of the matter. I have to look it up because I don't know it off the top of my head with the Nostradamus deck. Eight of Stars. It says visions, criticism, crisis, blame, censure, condemnation, illness, blindfold. Interpretation. In this card, when we see ourselves tied at the hands and feet, prevented from moving in any direction, sometimes held up to ridicule. In a work situation, tasks may be delayed or affected by criticism or condemnation by a superior. Health-wise, it suggests an illness that keeps you at home. Yet, it will often prove to be you who are holding yourself back. And if you can weather the storm, you will find a way forward. So this goes with the Five of Cups energy. This Eight of Stars is similar to Eight of Swords energy, is what this is. When this whole thing happens with this Emperor figure, could be an Aries. I don't know what President Xi, as a matter of fact, give me 2 seconds, because I can reach for my other phone to look it up. I'm curious when President Xi's birthday is, or Chairman Xi, or whatever you want to call him. Hold on. I'm logging. For those who are listening to the podcast, I'm logging on to the internet. Chairman Xi. China. I don't know why I put C-H-I. I forgot his X-I. Birthday. Oh, he's a Gemini. Air energy. Born June 15th, 1953. Interesting. So he's a Gemini like Donald Trump is. Actually, his birthday is the day after Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is June 14th. What a world. Who would have thunk it? All right. So he's a Gemini. This Eight of Star is air energy, though. But Emperor is Aries energy. This Emperor is going to set something off. It's going to cause despair. It's going to make people feel like there isn't any hope, but there is hope. Archangel Metatron is also at the heart of the matter. The card that came out for Archangel Metatron is mercy, at the heart of the matter. So I'm going to read that right quick. Pull this up. Archangel Metatron, mercy. The Oracle of Metatron beseeches you to explore ways of being merciful within yourself and in relation to fellow human beings in nature. Mercy is God-given and therefore channeled through the sovereign leader. it is then allowed to flourish through the garden of the meek. Therefore, if you harbor any negative issues, such as anger, let go and live the life of your full power, your sovereignty, and express the implicit power of compassion. Didn't I mention compassion earlier? Be silent as you meditate on this oracle, and Metatron will bring you inspiration. Also, outside of the heart of the matter is Archangel Metatron with wisdom. I want to read that too. It says, the Sphinx has always created within us the wonderment of enigma. For within its being lies the wisdom of the centuries, the knowledge of bygone civilizations. Therefore, your choice of this oracle brings you to knowledge of your own divine wisdom. Through eons of time and the quest of many lives, you have wrought such beauty and knowing within your soul. Metatron wishes you to be still, to meditate on your own innate wisdom, and to act with the honor of an angel. Please chant Ha to feel the energies moving through your heart as the seat of the soul. So that is also on the outside, is what I'm seeing here. But with the death card here, again, purification. And also the death card came out during my last reading on the economy. I told you, I feel something's going to happen. It's going to hit hard. But then after that hard hit, something new happens. The Chariot is on the outside of the heart of the matter. Chariot is Cancer energy. Chariot is forward movement. Chariot is also a victory card. So a victory is there. Don't forget, gratitude is here. People will be giving gratitude as well. I want to read for the Spears too, for the Nostradamus. So we have the Apprentice of Spears on the outside of the heart of the matter. It says student, apprentice, disciple, concentration, speculator, trader, negotiator. It says the dedication and loyalty of the apprentice is a central aspect of their function, an excellent negotiator. They may be an aspect of you or someone who helps and supports you. If you're an employer, the apprentice is your ideal associate. Careful, attentive, and always ready to listen and learn. I told you there's going to be a focus on learning and educating the youth. There's going to be a focus on knowledge, and that even goes back to wisdom. I feel something is saying to me that the shock of what happens forces people to be more curious about things instead of just taking someone's word for it. Like, for example, I just told you that President Xi's birthday is June 15th. In this new energy, you would be like, well, yeah, I saw him look it up, but I didn't see it. So let me look it up for myself and confirm President Xi's birthday is June 15th. That type of energy. Where someone's like, yeah, the water at Walmart, and I'm just making something up here. The water at Walmart is completely gone. When I went to Walmart this morning, they were all sold out of water. And you were already thinking about going to Walmart. And it's sort of like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's kind of nice to know. But I'm going to check myself. You're going to go to the water section and you're going to see, oh, okay, yeah, they were right. The water wasn't there. So it's one of those things. It's more of, I want to know for myself. That's the energy. I want to know for myself. I want to see for myself. I know you told me, and I'm not saying that I don't trust you, I still want to know. I want to see it. I want the receipts. It's going to be that energy where people are in that learning, that curiosity, that childlike energy where they want to know things is what I'm picking up. And then this one is the 10 of Spears. So this one is upright, home, family, ancestry, records, archives, riches, savings, legacy, security, travel. That's what this is, the 10 of Spears in the Nostradamus deck. So this is similar to the 10 of Cups, but a little bit different. And with that, I mentioned travel before. So we have two travel cards here. We have the Chariot and the 10 of Spears. And I would even say the Apprentice too. Something just said to me, some of you might be relocating during this whole economic situation for job reasons, where the jobs like have left where you're at, and now you're going to another area to get a job, to do that. But I feel, or for more money, because don't forget 5 of Pentacles is here too. Or to gain more wisdom. Archangel Metatron. Maybe where you're at, even though technically you can hop on the internet and get, find out just about anything. But for some of you, you may actually have to physically investigate something to get the correct information so you can gain the wisdom. So you can gain real life, in-person experience wisdom on something and do that. It's almost like you can look up how to change a tire, but you don't, know it because you watch someone do it on YouTube, but until you actually physically go out to your car or to someone else's car and change a tire, you don't have that real world wisdom. And some of you, for the apprentice part of this, with the learning part of this, some people will be looking to get that real world wisdom, that apprenticeship, that actual experience. And you may not be able to get it where you're at. You may have to travel the Chariot or 10 of Spears to get that experience. I'm picking that up too, as well. Something is telling me to read the Gratitude card. So I'm going to read that, and then we're going to close out. Gratitude, Angel Zadkiel. So Zadkiel would be at the end. Zadkiel, Gratitude. It says, you have chosen this card to remind you of the bounty recently received and how important it is to be grateful for gifts. In truth, our planet is filled with such fruits. Let me hold this up while I read this. Our planet is filled with such fruits of grace if we allow ourselves to see them. Zadkiel teaches us to open our hearts and to reveal generosity and kindness to others. There is no scarcity in the place of ultimate well-being and joy we know as the source. Loss is only a condition created on planet Earth in our constant desire to possess more. Therefore, allow your own gifts to inform others on your path, bestowing the refined sense of your joy wherever you are. Chant Ah to release the conviction of love from your heart chakra. Now, and I'm glad that I read that because this goes back to 5 of Cups energy. When this whole economic situation hits, some people may be in this 5 of Cups energy. And this gratitude energy is saying, don't forget to be thankful for what you have. Don't forget to be thankful for what you have. Even if you're in 5 of Pentacles energy where you're feeling left out and you're pinching pennies and doing this and doing that, don't forget to be thankful for what you have. And for those of you who may not even be affected by what happens in the economy, because not everyone is always affected by an economic downturn. I wasn't affected by the 2008 crisis. It was sort of like a regular thing to me. But, others, they did lose everything. For those of you who may find yourselves not affected during what's to come, and something is coming, remember to be grateful and also remember to help others. Again, I feel like there's some charity. Charities are going to play a huge role in this. I really, really feel this. But purification has to happen. The death card. This is Scorpio energy. A purification has to happen. And I honestly feel like this person, this authority figure, this emperor figure, is the one who does it, whether it's intentional, whether it's unintentional, or whatever. There's something in whether their intentions are good, bad, or indifferent. There is something that an individual is about to do that is going to just set it on fire. I don't know who it is. Could be President Xi of China. Could be someone else. I'm just saying this person kind of looks like President Xi. Honestly, I feel like there may be two things with the war. Because with the war situation, I feel like it's going to involve a country where we're just going to be like, what? And maybe that's one situation in one timeline, but then we have another timeline with this emperor-like figure, this person in authority. And it doesn't have to be like a president or a prime minister or something. Maybe it's the chair of the Federal Reserve. They're an authority figure. Or maybe it's someone else behind the scenes that does something. But there's a person in power that is going to affect the world economy. And I honestly do not feel that it's Joe Biden. I really, really don't. I know a lot of people are like, no, it's going to be Joe Biden. I'm not picking up that energy. I'm not saying it can't be him. I'm just not seeing it being him. I'm just not. So yeah. But something, an individual, I feel like it's one individual. I don't feel like this is a cabal. Now don't get it twisted. I do feel like a cabal of people have been doing certain things behind the scenes. I do believe that. I actually almost know it because I can pick up the energy. But I feel there may be one individual, and that might be the thing too, where this one individual knows that some other individuals have been doing the stuff behind the scenes. And this one individual is like, you know what, let's just set it all on fire. Just to burn the people who have been doing stuff behind the scenes, the other authority figures. That could be going on too. So just want to throw it out there. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But we have to remember mercy when it happens. We have to seek out more wisdom. We have to be grateful. We have to be good stewards of what we're given. We have to believe that we will get the victory. We have to strengthen our bonds with people. And we have to master our craft. And also we have to grant people grace who deserve it. And also be willing to accept grace from those who are willing to give it to us and find ourselves deserving of grace. Because some people may feel like they're not deserving of grace to have a second chance. And you have to remember that you are worthy of a second chance. Everyone, I don't care who they are, is worthy of a second chance. No matter what they've done. Anyone can be redeemed. Anyone can be redeemed. Regardless, when this happens, we will be stronger together. And that is the message for my reading on the economy. kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.